So as I said, you require three fundamental components in order to start this project. Anyways, breadboard you got in the kit. So you require Node MCU, DHT11. DHT11 only the 3-pin version only it's required, not the 4-pin version. Be careful with this. Even this DHT11 is not the thing that is available in your kit. Probably you have to order it separately. Okay. And this micro USB cable, you might be getting this with your mobile phones in the older version of mobile phones and all. Okay, let us start how to interface this thing. As I said, there are few pins which you have to consider. Okay, so the pins that would include is the very first pin 3v3. So 3v3 should be connected with the supply pin. Okay, 3v3 should be connected with the supply pin, and ground, that is the next terminal which has to be connected with the ground. Okay, which is the third pin. Okay, which is the third pin. In generally the third pin will be the negative pin, first will be the positive, or like it varies, like what kind of sensor you got. Okay, so generally the sensors would include the in most of the cases it is like signal, VCC and ground. VCC should be connected with 3v3. Okay, VCC should be connected with 3v3, and the ground, the third terminal would be the ground terminal, that should be connected with the ground, GND. Okay, how to identify this? If you could see this picture, okay, the node MCU will be something like this. Okay, so on top of this node MCU, okay, you can visualize the board in the video that I am showing. On top of this, all the pin numbers, the board will look something like this. It's a very tiny board, okay, where you can implement your IoT part, right? Is this thing clear? Only 3 pins are there. One with 3v3, that is your positive terminal. Okay, second thing is your signal, that should be connected with any GPIO pin, this GPIO pin, and the last one, which is the ground, which has to be connected with the ground terminal. You can connect it with this 3v3 and ground, or maybe this 3v3. So there are totally 1 2 3 4 grounds and 3 3v3 pins. 3v3 stands for 3.3 volt. Okay, this total IC will work with a 3.3 volt. Clear? Any doubts in this till now? Abhishek, Priyal? Okay.
No sir, no doubt.
Okay, right. So once you connect this, later you have to start with the programming part. Okay, what is this? This is very crucial. Just have a look. Okay, so the programming part would include certain things which you have to know. Okay, from another PC, I would like to share a screen. Please have a look. Can you visualize the screen?
Yes sir.
Okay, so there is an application called as BLYNK, Blink. Okay, before you start programming your complete thing, you should know with which pin should be connected with what. Okay, let's talk to this Blink. Okay, how does this work? So first thing is, the moment you just open Blink, you will get a window like this. You have to create a login credential with a Facebook or any of your IDs. Okay, it will allow most of the IDs. Facebook is most preferable. Then there is an option. When you slide this, there is an option. Okay, so this option will tell you what is your which project you are planning to do. So there is a plus button on top. Just click on that. You will get this screen. Okay, this screen. Click on your project name. Okay, project name, you can edit it, or maybe like, okay, just click on select ESP8266 in the device list, and this theme is up to you whether you want to make a light theme or a dark theme. It's just a aesthetic look. So click on new, sorry, click on the project. Okay, so once you click on this, you will be send an authorization token to your mail ID, right? AUTH token, this is very much essential, this is like a key. Okay, so the moment I click on this, you will receive a mail. Okay, right? So this once you create a project, after receiving this authorization token only, you have to start programming on Arduino, right? Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Okay, I will show you what is this authorization token and all. At times it will be stored in spam, just have a look. Okay, just a second. So just wait until this authorization token is received. Okay, so once you receive this authorization token, you can start writing your code. Okay, so first thing is I want to monitor certain thing on my mobile phone. Okay, for that I have to add certain things. Okay, so what is this addition? I click on this, there is a button, okay, which will look like a bolt, okay, hexagonal bolt. Click on that, then you can click on shared access. Okay, just a second, don't do this, but I'll start telling you how to start with the project. Then add lot of things, there are a lot of things in new project. You can just add certain things. What do you require? The very first thing is I do require a value display. Okay, so this is the value display. I can edit it, which pin it is connected and what is what. So first thing is you have to select which pin you have connected this. There are a lot of pins here, GPIO 1 2 3. For example, I have connected it with GPO 1, okay, or GP1. Okay, so what value it is showing? For example, this title is humidity. I just want to maintain the humidity part, right? So humidity value, the maximum value would be 100%. Okay, so just reading rate, you can vary the reading rate. Okay, the reading rate is around 1 second. Just click on back, automatically it will show you what has been there. If you want, for example, this thing has to be shown on a graph. Okay, I can use a gauge. Okay, so I will just do the same thing, which pin I have connected, so the pin number I will be selecting. Okay, so here the problem is this gauge and all will tell you about the only the analog values. Okay, so if you want to delete, just select and delete, that's it, right? I can add one more thing, which is a value display, or I will just select a chart. Okay, but the problem is here there are certain energy levels. Okay, there are certain, only that energy levels only you can use. 600 points will be by default given as an energy value. Okay, so you just use as per the requirement. So if you want to select something like okay, for your project it would be easy, you just make some simple things. Okay, that is again one more display, value display, or maybe a labeled value. I'll use this for temperature, that is pin number, the same value, but you have to assign it on a different case. I'll tell you how to assign this. Maximum temperature, what that can be measured is degree centigrade. In degree centigrade it's just 50, so it is C, right? Okay, so it is centigrade, this is two things. Okay, after you do this, you can run it, but there is no board connected here. In the new project there is no board connected here. your device is not yet online. Why? Because we have not connected anything to the board. Okay, we have not done anything with the board, because the authorization token what these people have sent to us has to be dumped into the Arduino or your Node MCU board so that it works. Okay, so how to start programming this particular thing? Okay, so once you do this, this is common for everybody, even people who are working with an IoT project. For example, in our case, it's like there are 3 batches who are doing IoT related projects. So all the 3 people have to understand this concept alone, how to start with Node MCU. Okay, so later the connections would change, only the connections would change. How to start programming with Node MCU, the physical program. So you have to be very cautious with the Node MCU. First thing is, you interface the Node MCU to the board, okay, like this, with a smaller, the micro USB cable, and then you connect it to your PC. Once you start connecting this PC, you can visualize a small LED glowing here. Can you visualize that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. So that means the board is working. If there is any issue, the board won't work. Okay. After this, what you have to do is, you have to start programming the board. Okay. How to start programming the board? Can you visualize the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, first thing is, you have to download a library, okay, for Blink. Okay, for Blink. How to download the library? The moment you just open, just a second. The moment just open Arduino, you will get a blank thing. Okay, you don't get this code. I have made this code. So first thing is, you first go to Tools. First you check your board, which port it is connected with. For example, in my case, it is connected with 6. Second thing is, you have to find out your board type. Okay, here my board type is not available because I have not installed any boards related with Node MCU. Okay, so after this, you just click on boards manager, and then type ESP8266, give an enter. So once it is done, you will get a thing. Okay, so I think in my PC there is some issue, it's not coming, but it will come as ESP8266 Node MCU, like that it will come. Okay, so you just select any of these things in order to get, okay, partner, for example. So if select any of the board type and then type the thing ESP8266. Okay, so you have to connect to internet in order to do this. Without internet it won't work, right? Okay, it will take a while. Then click on that and install. Okay, how the installation process would be is, okay, for example, I just want to install that software ESP8266. Okay, so just click on that and then give an install. Okay, that should be ESP8266. Don't install any other thing. It should be ESP8266. Guys, am I audible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So you
sir.
have to click on this ESP8266. Okay, most probably in your laptop it will work, because I have done something with my laptop, so it's not working. So you just click on ESP8266. You will get some pop-up here. first install that. Then you can visualize the board here. Okay, ESP8266. You have to select that in order to continue. It won't work if you are not able to see that board here, right? Then we'll start straight away with the programming. This program is for the project, first project, that is Abhishek, then Priyal, all those people. So first thing is define blink underscore serial print serial. Okay, that is for printing the values. Second thing is include ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h, that's a hex file. Then include blink simple ESP8266.h and include DHT.h. These 3 plus 1, that is 4, are mandatory things. These are libraries. You have to include them in the program. Okay, then you can start with the next part, which is the token, which I was telling. The moment you just make this project, okay, what you will be understanding is you will be knowing that this authorization code is mailed to your respective mail IDs. Okay, so what you have to do is you first find out what is the authorization code. Once your authorization code is known to you, then you have to include that. Okay, include that by char auth. This is mandatory for every project. No matter whatever project you take, this is mandatory for every project, right? Okay. Then after this you just have to just copy that from your mail ID, respective mail ID, and then paste it here. Okay, once this authorization token comes to your mail ID, you have to just paste it with the char authorization code in double quotes. It should be in double quotes, right? It should be in double quotes. You can visualize this authorization code in that nut icon, that bolt icon which I have shown, no? Okay, in that also you can see the authorization code, right? You can easily find the authorization code to this. Okay, right? So once you get this authorization code, okay, once you get this authorization code, you have to start with the next thing, next concept, which is how I connect this ESP8266 to the Wi-Fi. Okay, it's a Wi-Fi enabled device, I said, no? On this thing there is a symbol Wi-Fi, so that means it's Wi-Fi enabled. That means you can connect it to any Wi-Fi network which has two things. One is SSID. Okay, that is your Wi-Fi ID. For example, you might be keeping your Wi-Fi IDs, okay, respective Wi-Fi IDs. So that Wi-Fi ID you have to just use here. For example, in my case my Wi-Fi ID is Vasant, so I have just used that. And after that I have to see each Wi-Fi will have a password. Okay, so that has to be declared here. That is char SSID square bracket is equal to double quotes Vasant, then char pass is equal to double quotes the password. Okay, the password, right? Now you have to define which pin you are connecting this DHT11. Okay, which pin you are connecting this DHT11. First thing is I have to define the pin number. Pin number is 14. So define DHT pin 14. You can straight away use this pin, whatever I am teaching you, the 14th pin, or D7. Okay, on this thing you can find D7 on this board. You can visualize. Okay, just have a look in the video I am showing. On this board you can find D7. There are very tiny letters, probably they might not be visible to you here, but it is D7 here. So you can use D7, Abhishek. Okay, you can use this D7 and define which type of DHT you are using. There are different types of DHTs that are there in the market. Okay, so DHT type is DHT11. You are defining DHT11. Rest all are not required. Then DHT, small DHT, DHT pin and DHT type, we are declaring it as a function. Okay, here it is declared as a function. Okay, so now you include a timer here. Reason is you have to update the data every certain pin, okay, certain numbers, okay. So certain time period, right? You have to update certain numbers certain time at every time cycle. So for that you have to define blink timer, then followed by your void, that is your loop, just like your Arduino loop, whatever you are doing, you have to do that, right? Then float h is the value is equal to dht dot read humidity. So we have declared the dht library here, right? From this library we are accessing this dht read, the dht dot read humidity, followed by float t is equal to dht dot read temperature, okay, temperature, right? Okay, so if there is any issue with the sensor, I have to print something. If none of them are available, okay, if none of them are available, that is if is NaN H, okay, or NaN T, any one is not available, what you are doing is you are not getting the data. So I'll be printing fail to read from sensor, and I have to return it, okay. Second thing is how you start writing these to some virtual pins, okay, some virtual pins, okay. In this case, as I have given, okay, two things in the previous example, which pin you are reading, okay, which pin you are reading, okay. For that what you have to use is the virtual pins, okay. So V5 and V6 are the virtual pins which will read this data. So while programming it, what you have to do is you have to define, instead of input you have to define the virtual pin, okay. Okay, here I'll share the screen. See, in the input, okay, there is something called as virtual. Can you see this? In input, okay, analog, digital and virtual, the last one is virtual, okay. I think it will be inverted, just have a look. So you can define which pin virtually you are sending. So I am sending here, there we have chosen a digital pin, but don't choose a digital pin. Now digital pin is actually physically connected to the sensor, but virtually I am just writing some value. What value I am writing? Temperature and humidity. Where I am getting it? From the 14th pin, which is D7, right? So I am just writing the data onto the virtual pins. So if I read those virtual pins, it's enough, okay, right? So the baud rate we have to set up. So here in typical node MCU programming, the sensor values are read first, and then you have to define the whatever may be the the setups, okay. So serially it should read the data at 9600, but by default Blink will have a larger baud rate, so limit it to 9600. So blink.begin with authorization code, SSID and password. These three are interlinks. So don't worry about these things, okay. Just use these three things: blink.begin, dht.begin. So dht.begin is for this particular thing, whatever the DHT 11 parameters that are being read, okay. So put everything in loop, that is blink.run and timer.run. So every time this whole code will run, executing all the things, okay. I will anyway share this code to you. You can just dump it onto your Arduino, this using Arduino IDE onto your what do you call the node MCU. There is one more video which I will share with you, just have a look, okay. Is the project done? So once this thing is done, you can visualize, okay, you can visualize the data on the this particular thing, okay. So like this, the values will be displayed on both of the things. So you will have the values that are being displayed here, right? Any doubt in this? Which one? The level monitoring for two things. One is any typical oil reservoir, that is one thing. Second thing is how to transfer this data onto what do you say, the node MCU, and then how to read those values how to read those values in IoT platform. That is the ultimate thing what you have planned, if I am not wrong. I think the members are okay. I have given you a thing which is more smaller version, not this version, okay. So first thing is you have to in IR pair you have only one pin that is connected with your data pin, rest all with the digital, I mean the supply. Okay, 3 pins you will get, one is positive, other one is negative, and one is the data value. Okay, so you have to digitally read the value that is being given by the thing. Okay, you have to read the value of the digital pin. Okay, so first thing is this IR has 3 terminals. As I said, it will come in this format. You can visualize this. Okay, so the positive one to the 3.3V, negative one to the ground, and the central pin will be connected with your data pin. Okay, central pin will be connected with the data pin. So like this you have to use 2 data pins. Let us say D6 and D7 you can use. D6 and D7 you can use. Am I clear? Right. So this is related with the hardware connection. Now you can follow the same method what I have told for the other set of people, that is for DHT11 interface with the Blink. So you have to download the Blink app, followed by you have to make one account, then followed by create a new project. In project you can take 2 displays. Okay, 2 displays, which is, or you can take 2 simple things which I will share with you. So how you can do your project is, you can take 2 indicators rather than any other thing. Okay, let me join in the meeting and then start. So I will stop this sharing. Okay, so click on a new project. Okay, same project name, you can give any project name, for example level indication. Right, then click on create. Once you get this, you will automatically get a token which will be sent to your respective mail ID. In this case it will be sent to my mail ID, but don't worry, like it will be, if that mail hasn't come to you, you can still visualize what is the token. Okay, so that is available in this bolt icon. You can visualize this, let us say this device. Click on this, click on the level indication, you can see the token. Okay, the token is copied to the clipboard. Okay, you can just mail it onto something and you can just use it just like that. Okay, it is authorized, so there is a lot of hiding here. Then you can add simple indications. Okay, simple indications I can show you for your project. Just an LED. Okay, so you can add one LED. How this LED blinks is, it should be connected to a virtual pin. Okay, so connect it to one virtual pin, V0, let us say. Okay, then you just mention what is this, that is low level. Right, low level. Okay, then just make it back. Okay, your LED will be here. Then you can add one more thing, one more LED. That LED is also connected with one more virtual pin, that is V2, V1. Okay, V1 in our case. Done. Right, so you can visualize this thing. There are 2 LEDs, low level and high level. I'll just make it as high level. Okay, so you got 2 things, low level and high level. So when you run it, okay, you have to run. The device is showing empty, no devices were connected online. Okay, reason is it is not connected to any of the device, right? So next what you have to do is you have to move on to the Arduino IDE. I'll stop sharing this, right? So click on this Arduino IDE, follow the same steps whatever that has been discussed, okay? Then you need not to include any of these libraries. You need not to include any of these libraries. That is two things, that is Blink and DHT. You need not to include that, okay? So include define Blink underscore serial print serial. This two libraries are required because you are working with these two libraries only. Then char authorization, the same authorization you have to give, okay? Then char SSID, your Wi-Fi ID and password. Then you need not to worry about all these things, okay, right? So but you have to define which pin it is connected, okay, which pin it is connected. So I am just using int high level is equal to, okay, high level is equal to digital read the pin number, okay? But before that you have to define the pin, right? Where will you define the pin? Okay, where will you define the pin?
Before void loop.
Okay, but
Void setup loop.
okay, void setup loop, you have to define the pin number, okay? But in this case, okay, you just have a look in the thing, you are defining the pin here, right? You are defining the pin here in DHT11, okay? But here you have to define two pins, okay? You have to define two pins, that is low pin, low 14 is 14th pin, hash define high 15th pin, okay? That is D, or I'll just use 13 pin number 13, which is basically D6, right? As I said, D6 and D7 you are defined, and I'll be using one loop, that is sensor, okay, send sensor, which is int high level is equal to, okay, int high level is equal to digital read which pin you have to use? 14, okay, for low, sorry, so this is 13, for high it is 13, for low it is int low is equal to digital read 14, right? So same thing, blink dot virtual write low and high, that's it. V6, V5 virtual pins I have used, no, V6, or in our case it is V0, then V1, okay? So high and low pins you are reading, right? So you have to delete this because you are not using anything. Serial dot begin, okay, 600 9600 9600, then followed by all these things, right? Okay, so you have to just execute and check it whether it is functional. If errors are there, you try to remove, okay? If major error comes, you can just contact me, I'll try to rectify, okay? So there is no directory, something like this it will come, you just install all those directories, okay? These errors are very nominal errors, okay? This is because I have not installed this library file. So for installing library, go to manage library ESP8266, something like this, it will work, okay? So after this you have to just execute and then dump this onto your Node MCU. Node MCU will generally take a longer time when compared with Arduino because it's a smaller device. So you have to wait until the whole program goes online, right? So after dumping, you can just remove this and connect it with any of your power bank. This thing will work. Okay, only thing is your Wi-Fi signal should be strong. That's it. If your Wi-Fi is not working, then the whole device will not be working. Clear? So in your case,
Yes, sir.
the thing is you will get only two digital values, two yes or no, high values, two high values you will get. So only those two high values are the indications. If you want any intermediate value, then probably you can make one more IR sensor to get an intermediate value, high level, mid level, low level. So during mid level you can refill it, something like that. That information you can pass. Okay, but for that you require three tokens, three virtual pins. Okay, you have to connect it to three physical pins as well, right? Any other doubts you got?
Yes, sir.
Right.
No, sir.
Uh,
Can you share us the document that you have shown us in first of our project?
So regarding this ADXL35, I just want to repeat it once again. So ADXL35 is a triaxial accelerometer. You can measure it in X, Y and Z axis. Okay. So you require the following components like ADXL335, which is available online, Node MCU, that is also the link I have shared it, then followed by some connecting wires, breadboard, etc., and micro USB cable for dumping the program. So the circuit diagram goes like this. You got X out, Y out and Z out. All the three connections you make to D0, D1, D2. Okay, three pins are required. VCC to 3.3 volts. Okay, that is here. Then ground to ground, right? This is the physical connection. Okay, this is the physical connection, right? Now coming to the code. Okay, how to start writing with the code. Okay, but before that, how to make the indicators on the what do you call the Blink. Okay, Blink is the app which you are using. It's a freeware. Okay, it's a freeware thing, and I'll show you how to start with the programming of this ADXL35. Let me share my screen.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we can show in three ways. Sir, one is
Three
LED
waves
glow.
you will get basically.
Sir, one is LED glow, one is by buzzer, and one is a display.
No. Don't do any LED glows and all. You just monitor it on a graph. That is more than enough.
Okay, sir.
Try to monitor it on a graph.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'm just sharing my screen. Can you visualize this?
No, sir. And now I can see, sir.
Okay, so new project, as I said, then click on this plus button. Okay, see, you can see some energy balance. The moment you start using one component, the energy balance will be lessened. Okay, now you are indicating it on a chart. Okay, you require three charts basically, or like all the three inputs can be given in one chart also, that is possible. Okay, just use the free chart, then click on this chart, then you can add a data stream. Okay, what is this data stream is how many inputs are being fed to the thing. Okay, so once adding a data stream, it will ask for a pin number. Okay, all virtual pins we are using, so you have to take V0. Okay, then the suffix would be vibration. Okay, let us say millimeters. What do you call vibration? Is basically acceleration. So just you give the unit for acceleration. Okay, then followed by just click on OK. Input is V0, so one input it will display continuously in a super chart format. If you want any modifications in this, for example title, okay, legend, x-axis, y-axis, okay, and scaling, if you want to do anything for scaling it will show. And then apart from that you have a standard resolution. Okay, so the live session will be for 1 hour, like 6 hours you can take whatever the requirement that is there. Okay, then you just go to the backwards. Okay, so if you click on this, it will show you the legend, okay, how the data stream is being made, right? So for one thing I will tell you, you can add one more data stream, okay, or maybe a simple gauge also you can add. So for deleting any component, just click on that and delete. Okay, so instead of which your energy balance will go down if I am using super chart. For one thing you can put a super chart, and for rest of the things I will put a gauge. Okay, gauge is something like this. Okay, it consumes lesser energy. So click on gauge. Pin number you have to define, it's a virtual pin. Okay, V0, V1, V2 in your case. V0 is the x-axis, that is acceleration, right? Then click on what is the maximum value. Here the maximum value what you get is 1023 only, it's correct. Okay, gauge value, that is x-axis, you can put x-axis displacement. Okay, then click to the back. So once you click on this you will get this indication. So this will vary based on the variations that you write. Okay, and you can add one more thing like y-axis and all, like you can define it's a y-axis one. So pin number you have to give, in virtual you have to give V1. Okay, right. Similarly z-axis you make. Once all these things are made, okay, you know which token you got for this. So for understanding the token, once again, if you are not getting a mail, you can easily access the token. So click on this nut button, okay, that is the icon. Then you just go to new device, then click on the new device. You will get an authorization token. If you long press it, you can visualize the token is copied to the clipboard. Okay, you can just post it anywhere and start working on the thing, right? So I will stop sharing my screen. Then how to start dumping the program for you guys. Okay, for you guys, can you visualize the screen?
No, sir.
Right, here
Yes.
include these two things should be present, that is blink print serial ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h, after which you have to define your CAR authorization, which you got in mail or maybe available in that nut icon. Okay, provide your CAR SSID, that is your ID, your network ID, then password. Okay, define three things, that is right, x-axis I am defining x, just x, y-axis, okay, define z-axis, okay, right. Fifteen, 14, sorry, 13, 14, 15, 3 pins I have used. You can use it accordingly, which is D5 here, right? After this you have to just digital read those values, that is x, y, I think I have given it wrongly, which is y here, x here, z, which is 15 here. Okay, so you have to virtually write these values there, that's it. right? V1, V0, V1, V2 we have used. So which is X here, Y here, then Z here. Okay, just close the brackets in order to avoid errors. Right, so that's it. So rest all it's known to you. Okay, blink dot run. So this is your program, right? Any doubts in this?
No, sir, not till now.
Okay, so while you are executing only, you will understand lot of errors, lot of issues. You can contact me.
Yes, sir.
So nothing, I have not done much with the programming part. Only it's a very small program. I'll just remove this all. See how many lines, with how many lines you are executing an IoT program. See, look at the number of lines, to be frank. Maximum 10 lines, not more than that. See, so it's very easy. So if you understand the concept, so it's very easy. Okay. Right, that's it. That's it. With a matter of like 10 lines, you have executed a IoT platform, right? Complete IoT platform based program. Okay, the next thing. Okay, the interfacing Arduino with the Node MCU. Okay, just have a look. How does this sensor comes? The sensor comes in multiple ways. Okay, but one simple sensor is this thing, right? It got 4 pins. Okay, one is positive, other one is negative, and one of it would be analog or digital. Okay, so I suggest you to go with analog value, because that will give you more things. Okay, more things. And see, you can, there is one potentiometer on top of it. You have to adjust it. Even for this IR sensor also, there will be one potentiometer. You have to adjust it in order to get the data, right? So it comes with 2 LEDs. One is digital LED and the power LED. Digital LED is when you are using a high or low signal, but that is not preferable. But analog will give you a pakka value, that is perfect value, right? So you can get, how does it works is, when there is some smoke or vapor, okay, it can detect lot of things, variables, that is LPG, butane, propane, methane, alcohol and hydrogen, which are very, very dangerous gases. Okay, they might cause some issues. Certain dyes will emit these gases. Okay, so basically when you have a smoke, it will produce a higher voltage. When there is no smoke, it won't produce any voltage, lower voltage. So the wiring is something like this. Okay, so you have to interface your I am not taking any buzzer or LED in this case. Okay, so analog pin has to be connected with analog. Positive and negative you have to use. No digital pin. Digital pin is not required in this case, so you can leave that pin. Nishita, what's your name? Are you understanding it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, it is just analog read, nothing much. So you can use a simple analog read program to read the data values. Okay, that I'll show you. Okay, it's very simple. You give a setup in loop, sensor value, analog read, sensor pin. Sensor pin you have to declare it somewhere here. Okay, sensor pin is equal to A0. One pin you choose. One pin you can choose. A0 I am just choosing for this case. Then followed by, you can choose what value that you have to read. Okay, So you are reading a simple analog pin. Here I am not using any of the LEDs, right? So the next thing is how to start displaying this. So that is serial dot begin, all those things you have to use. I will share that program to you, like serial dot begin, how to use that. Okay, I'll share that program. So once you get the sorry.
So first we have to initialize the blink, right?
No,
blink thing.
Blink and all I will tell you in the later part. Now you have to interface that with Arduino, straight away with Arduino, not with Blink.
Okay.
First you connect it with Arduino. See, it is like just a second. So you are interfacing this to this board, Arduino board, which you have purchased earlier. This board, this MQ2 has to be connected because this can bear up to like 40 milliamps. This board cannot bear up to 40 milliamps. That's the issue. MQ2 sensor is a high powered sensor, so it cannot bear such a high voltage. So better you don't use it, right? First you interface this with Arduino. From Arduino we will transfer the data onto NodeMCU. Right, Nisha, is this clear?
Sir. Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
So I have shared one more details to you, that is how to interface an RTD, which is a temperature sensor. Okay, that also has to be connected to analog pin 1 A1. You analog read the data, that's it. Clear? Then after that there is a procedure which is a lengthy procedure, which your teammates can have a meeting. Okay, it's a lengthy